Welcome to Cigar City Radio, episode number 52. I'm your host, Randy Ojeda, and making the magic happen, Mr. Jason Solanez.
So, Randy, I saw this video last night.
Oh, God. Where did you find this video?
On Netflix. It's called Mind of a Chef.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good show.
Yeah.
It's worth checking
I haven't
out.
had a chance to watch
It's
it yet.
pretty
Oh, all right, that's good.
And then I watched...
No, God damn it. Hey, you, Cigar City Radio listener. If you're listening to this show and you like it, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Cigar City Radio. Also, please subscribe to our mailing list to get music, info, and news and everything sent right to your inbox. Algorithms be damned. Just go to cigarcitymanagement.com/subscribe. You'll find the link there where you can put in your email address. We'll send you cool stuff, but we won't blow up your inbox, we promise. It's all very tastefully done. Like our show, right? Our show is very tastefully done. If you are subscribed to our mailing list or you follow us on social media, you'll know that we had quite a busy week last week releasing a couple of projects under the Cigar City MGMT Label Services division, where we're helping independent artists release music on their own terms. This week, we have a brand new single from Morgan La Savita called Boys Got Me Crazy. It's produced by George Mena, who is the bass player for Donna Summer, and mixed and mastered by two-time Grammy winner Jake R. Tanner. He's worked with the likes of Celia Cruz and Ricky Martin, a lot of great Latin artists, and he put this record together with Morgan La Savita. It's a great track, really catchy, totally recommend it. We also got a new single called Saved from Ethan E., who's a brand new artist coming from upstate New York. His debut album, 10 Eagle Street, is coming out in a few weeks from our label services division as well. So check that single out. Nice bit of lo-fi indie folk. We also released the full-length album from Hot Wax called Communicator. It's a chill wave, down-tempo album from a Tampa producer who has been a special guest on the show in the past and will be a featured guest shortly. So check out that album. Great late-night listening. We also released the Greg Billings Band Live Stranger 35 album, which is a live collection of Stranger and Greg Billings Band songs from their sold-out live show at the Capitol Theater. So you can find that on the Greg Billings Band page on Spotify, Apple Music, and everything. And lastly, but not leastly, is leastly a word?
No, but it works.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm rolling it. Not leastly, we also released the EP Till the Sunrise from our guest on this week, Mama's Batch. Mama's Batch is a band from Tampa, Florida. They produce the perfect mixture of homegrown funk and soul. They got soul-shattering vocals from Nalani Rothrock, beautiful guitar from Josh Lampkin, keyboards from Tommy Shugard, and the unstoppable rhythm section of Harry Ong and Aaron Buckingham. Mama's Batch brings a fresh twist to a classic sound. They had a sold-out release show at Murray Theater, Ruth Eckerd Hall's Murray Theater, to celebrate the release of this one. It's now available for you on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, everywhere else. We'll give you a little taste of it at the end of the episode, and they are our loving guests, so enjoy some Mama's Batch, but check out all the other music we released this week. To keep up with all of it, the best place to do it is Spotify. Just follow our Cigar City Management Popular Tracks playlist, and you'll find it all. So here it is, episode number 52. From Mama's Batch. Are you the core duo of Mama's Batch?
I guess you say that.
He said it.
Yeah, the rest of the guys aren't here.
I take it. There's no one here is undisputed thus far. So.
No, but the whole band rips. That's one of the best things about you guys is that the band just you guys are locked in.
Well, we're just the other guys that aren't here are really talented.
They are.
We love those guys.
We're lucky to
We have a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Yeah. So your EP is out now on all digital services, Spotify, Apple Music,
all
everything.
the way out.
Yeah. We joined this century, today.
and that's called Till the Sunrise. And when you listen to it, it sounds like, even though it came out today, it sounds like something that's like timeless. You know, like it could have come from any era, I feel, and it would fit. You know,
Cool.
You just made my heart big, man.
Yeah.
Did I really?
I like
no, I was
that.
listening to
I
it.
like
I was
What
listening
we're
to
going
it.
for.
I was listening to it a couple times last night because that's one of the cool things about the record too. Is it's just an EP, you know, so it's like a little taste of Mama's Batch
teaser.
Yeah, but the songs are so good that by the time it ends, I was just like, I just want to go back to number one and listen to it again, you know, because it leaves you wanting more, you know.
Actually, literally just had somebody tell me that like last week.
Really? See, so
they
I'm
got it.
honest,
They're like,
I'm
I had
onto
to listen
something
to
here.
it twice.
Yeah, because it's like right when it ends, you're like, oh man, I want more Mama's Batch. I want more of this music.
Buy the next record. Buy the next one, please.
Coming soon. We're going to be recording this year.
Yes, awesome.
Already?
That's good to hear. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's back.
Focus on this one.
Let's
Let's,
focus on
yeah,
this
no,
one.
no, no,
Focus
no.
on the present.
I'm saying let's back up for the listeners who are just getting familiar with you now. How did the two of you meet?
Well,
J-Date. No, that's
oh
not
God,
true. That's not
no.
true.
We met. What was it? 6 years ago at a gig. We were both in our own bands, and we were doing a benefit show together. And that's
Our
how we
own
met.
separate bands.
Yeah.
My band had to open for her band,
Oh,
which at the time I was upset
He
about.
was very.
You were upset?
he
I was
he
upset about it
not
at the time. I
happy
was
for
like,
some reason.
man, that bumped my spot. I'm pissed.
but then you heard her voice and you were sold.
That's true. It was a bad first meeting place. It wasn't a great gig. It wasn't a great place.
There
to
was a
play.
bunch of things that went
There's
wrong.
a lot of things
with
that were
the
wrong with
Yeah.
that
people
whole
that put on
event.
the event, but
hey,
we
that-
got to meet each other, and then
We
Yeah.
did get to meet each other.
we're like, hey, well, why don't we be in a band together? Eventually, you know, months down the road, we decided.
Is that what it took? Was it months?
ooh, it was about a month after that.
That we started like hanging out.
Too well, we ran
and
into each
then-
other at a show. We were at Skipper's, being all skippery, and yeah, hung out at Skipper's,
Yeah.
and then that was like hey, I'm looking at you. You're
Skippers
looking
is
at
for
me.
lovers, guys.
Skippers is for lovers.
It really is.
Well,
That's funny.
then I guess- But yeah, so then we started hanging out, and then I would come to his shows, he would come to my shows.
We were
whatever,
like,
and then
man, why
were
don't we
like,
just?
why don't we just do this together?
Yeah. So when did you start doing it together? And
That's a personal
This
question.
is getting crazy over here.
Funny story about Skippers.
another thing that Skippers is known for.
I don't really know when we actually formed a band together. I mean,
Officially,
probably maybe a year or two, maybe.
it took us a long
year
time
or
to
two,
decide on a name.
Yeah.
I think when we first met you guys, we were still like, what's the name of the band?
You were floating around Mama's Batch.
Yeah. The whole idea is probably 4 years old. Like,
No, not even. Not Mama's Batch, but our group.
the what became
Yeah.
Mama's Batch.
Yeah.
That's about 4
Yeah.
going on 5
The
years
seeds
old.
were planted
Yeah.
4 years ago.
So we had Harry
I
and Bucky.
found the dudes. Found the dudes. Correct,
Harry and
guys.
Bucky, the drummer and the bass player, were with us. And then they kept telling us about Tom, the keyboards guy.
Yeah.
Keyboards guy.
That's such a lame way to
I
say
know,
it.
I don't know why I
We
said
got
it
a
like that.
keyboards guy. He's good.
I
Yeah.
have problems talking. But yeah, so then they were like, hey, we should get this guy, blah, blah, blah. And then we added him, and it was just fucking great. I wasn't
No.
supposed to say that?
No, you can
Oh,
totally
okay.
you can totally curse. It's an explicit show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cox.
That's-
Explosive.
You can say all the words that you can't say on television.
Oh, perfect.
You can say them all. If
It is
you
the
want-
internet, baby.
if you
Let
want
it fly.
Exactly.
Wild Wild West.
You
So-
say F words, I'm going to take a bite of this hot dog.
No, this Mel's hot dog is really good. I got the bacon cheddar.
Oh, I was looking
Dog.
at that one.
It was really good.
Like
I-
Fire dog.
Fire Dog is a classic. You got
Fire dog.
Chili.
Fire dog would be a great name for a band.
Fire Dog would be a great name for a band. There you go.
Is this Bloodbath and Beyond?
Bloodbath and Beyond.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Isn't
God.
that good?
That's a real band?
That's a real band.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Friend Connor, yeah. He was just on the show last week.
I told him he needs to start carrying around a little notepad or something and just write down all the band names. Because it's like, what do you do in your spare time? I freaking name bands.
Yeah.
So, that'd be a great band name.
Yeah, you can't give that shit away for free, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Write it
What was a
down.
good one? It was if it's an all-girl punk band, Wild Yeast. We did it last time. We talked about it last time.
Yeah,
it was
I know.
with you guys.
That's when you thought of it. That's when the guy said
Yeah,
it.
when
Just
we-
made that connection
Yes.
in my mind
Yes,
right now.
when we had the Goose Island people.
We still have the t-shirts.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about wild yeast, like actual wild
Yeah.
yeast. I think
That's how it got brought about.
when
And
the
I
band-
slipped in.
Yeah. But you still haven't formed that band, unfortunately.
Nah, I'm not a,
Yeah, it doesn't fit your aesthetic.
I'm not a girl.
Yeah.
I could do the punk thing, but I'm not a girl.
Right.
Sans boobs.
So tell us about Till the Sunrise. So you recorded it at Creative World Recording with the legendary George Harris.
Yes, we love.
Well,
him so
actually, we
much.
recorded it at our drummer's house,
Oh.
We did the
which
the
was
bass.
in Plant City. It's really old. He had to really hold a house in Plant City. Oh man, it's burp time as soon as I try to start talking.
Just let it out, man.
Yeah, we did it. It's like an old wood house, man. It sounded pretty good in there. We would rehearse there all the time, so we're like, man, why don't we just make a record here? Felt pretty comfortable. We did all of it in 3 days.
Yeah, with the exception
Really?
of with the exception of vocals.
Yeah, all the primary stuff was done,
And now-
except for like vocals and like a couple guitar parts.
Now, were you tracking this live?
We were, yeah. All the a couple of the Tom solos were overdubbed, but everything else was done live. It was just all together. We just kept running the songs until we're like, all right, that's the one.
That's incredible because
It was brutal.
It sounds so
It was
tight when
brutal.
you listen to it. You know that
Yeah.
it doesn't have that like. I mean, if it has the energy of a live show, but it doesn't sound like a live show.
Well, that's because
you know?
George worked his magic and made
see.
everything sound
Even
beautiful.
I mean, what we gave
yeah,
him was
yeah.
sort of jumbled up and not. It's really unpolished. We did, like the first recordings were pretty raw. Not like playing wise, but like sonically.
Yeah.
It sounded raw, man. He has a bunch of interesting studio gizmos
He's
that he
George.
uses.
Yeah, he's George. so yeah. At what point did he get involved?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Well, we basically after we got done recording at Bucky's house for those 3 days, we took it to George, and you know, there was actually something that happened in like the transfer of the music to him where things kind of didn't line up, and he had to fix that at first, which was
bet that-
pretty annoying on a
Yeah,
couple
I
of the
bet-
tracks.
I bet he would have been really
Weird.
pissed
Like
off.
we listened to it and we're like, oh my god, what is that? What's going on? It's like I don't know what happened. It was something, and I don't know when we sent it to him. I don't know what happened, but
There was a big panic period.
yeah, for about like, you know, George is just like, it's all good, you know, it's
Yeah.
okay. You
There was
know,
like
George.
30 minutes of panic.
Yeah.
And then he's like, wait,
And then he
I got-
fixed it.
here it is.
Figured
Boom.
it out.
Yeah.
And then we just basically went into George. He had to do, I think, 2 guitar solos, and then we did vocals there, and then George started mixing it. So
Yeah. That's what amazes me about George is that he's able to fix any problem. I feel like anything that we throw at him. You know, we've even sent him some stuff as early on when we were working on the podcast where it's like, dude, we can't get this noise out, or we have this background issue or whatever, and George is like, in 2 seconds.
This is your problem here.
Yeah. Because it's like he's seen and done everything that
Well, I
nothing.
remember the
phases
first
him.
one we sent to him. He was like, "Oh, that's a fucking air conditioner, man. You just turn that thing off next time."
Yeah, we're like,
Innovative
that
solution.
makes sense. We turn off the air conditioner, you know. Yeah, a lot of it's common sense. So now I remember seeing some of the some videos of you guys in the studio with George recording and doing some of the vocals. I think for this album and also for the acoustic album that you put together too, the solo album, and I love how George sets it up with the kind of makeshift walls there in the room and soundproofs the like.
I think the video that you're talking about is actually at Bucky's house.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Damn,
I
why do I
believe
See,
so.
that was Bucky's. Well, there was a window in the house. It looks like a studio.
Yeah, it
that's
looks-
where
yeah.
that's where we put all the board and everything. You know.
Yeah.
That's what
A
was cool
faux
about his
studio.
house is he had like I guess something that used to be a porch that they enclosed and turned it into a room, there's like windows inside the house. It was kind of weird, but it worked
Yeah.
out really good for recording because we were able to set up all the stuff in that little porch room area.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
that's actually where I was doing the vocals, and then I'm the one that recorded them all in the living room.
Right on.
She was also deathly ill.
I was like you, Jason. I had the Black Death that day. Like I literally had a pile of tissues just freaking like 2 feet high, and I'm like singing the vocals. I'm like, don't you dare record these vocals. These are scratch.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ugh. It was awful. So I definitely had to redo the vocals.
The whole setting that whole place up was interesting. We just had we took mattresses off the beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
The soundproofing.
Just put it everywhere. It was fun. I built like a pillow fort around my amp. Like, you know, like a little kid would build a fort out of like, you know, pillow cushions.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that
was,
sounded great.
Boxed it in. I caged the beast.
So, how long had you been kicking around the songs on this record? Are these songs that have been tweaked for a while, or did you put them together specifically for this EP?
Well, some of them
These
are
are
pretty
really the
old
tunes that
and-
made it.
Yeah.
The ones that are left.
Yeah.
There was
And
a
then there were six.
yeah, pretty much. There was probably like 10 tunes. And there was a whole record that I did with the core band without her like 4 years ago, and it was all the way recorded. I listened to it and I was like, man, there's just, you know, I'm not sure if this is really what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I didn't put it out. Wasted a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And I think on the next album, a couple of those tunes might make their way to the top again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we narrowed it down to 6 and we went with
Yeah.
strong 6.
Well, yeah.
Some of them were fairly
I got
new,
your
and
six,
some
bud.
of them were like, you know, a few years old.
Yeah.
This was like a mix.
Man, it's such a great record. Honestly, like I know I'm super biased here, but it is like listening. It's one of those records where every song has a little bit of its own flavor, its own thing to it. You know, it's hard to like nail down to like one specific genre or style. It's like you go from, you know, sometimes I feel like a Huey Lewis and the News type thing, and then it goes into like, you know, more Tedeschi Truck style, you know, more bluesy, then back into some soul. It's just it's good.
We lean a lot.
You
Lean.
There's even like a freaking at the end of the song "The Dragon." There's like a freaking heavy metal breakdown. Like I'm expecting like blast beats and, you know, Josh to start the dragon. You know, where was that? Where's the metal section?
Oh man.
Next record.
Yep.
Next record. Okay.
Yeah. Man, James really, specifically that song, The Dragon, James Suggs, the guy who played trumpet on the album for a few songs, he really he took that song and just freaking, you know, made it pop.
We
Just
had
made it wonderful.
We had it recorded. We gave it to him. We're like, man, we just need you to arrange it. And
we need a horn line.
Yeah.
and he just in that one in particular, and he helped with Mercy too. He wrote all the charts for that. The way that he made it, like, you know, his part was like playing against the beat. It's like something I
Yeah.
didn't think of.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so having him add his special James flair to it was really nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what's cool about collaboration is like, yeah, you find another musician might have a totally different take.
I
on
did
something.
not think of that.
Yeah. So is that how you write most of the songs? Is in more of a collaborative environment, or do you guys do you hole up over here in this undisclosed location in Temple Terrace?
Most of it, it's born in an undisclosed location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we introduce things once it gets to that step.
Yeah. We kind of try to have it for the most part, you know, like formed and together as a song, and then we'll bring it to the band.
You
and then
want to
it'll
be
just
able
kinda
to
get
play
morphed.
a common thread in all the tunes is that you can sit down you can sit down and play them.
Yeah, like
You know, so like, you know, a tune has to all be, you know, I have to have it all together in my head before I would take it to somebody else and
Yeah.
be like, hey, help on this part. I don't know what to do. I would rather be like, hey, this is my idea. Help me with the idea.
right.
You know,
Well, I also respect that too. 'cause-
both ways work. I mean, like even
Yeah.
if you don't know, I mean, you know, collaboration's cool, but I try to have a complete thought.
Yeah.
To start with.
Well, I think because when you break it down afterwards, you know, like that's when I think you have a good song is when you can strip out all the extra bullshit and bring it down to its core essence of what the song is, and it still works. You
Yeah.
know. So that makes sense if that's
Yeah.
how you're starting with that core and then
Yeah.
building the pieces around it. You know?
It's like
Yeah.
my dad, I took a bunch of guitar lessons from my dad when I was really young.
Yeah.
And he would always say, you know, if you can't get your sound with an acoustic guitar, just sing the song.
Yeah.
Then, you know, maybe you should consider doing something else.
Yeah. So your dad was a guitar player?
My dad was a guitar player. He had a band in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, more than in the 70s. He's also a truck driver. He traveled a lot, but he had a band,
Right on.
like a country band with my uncle.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like boot kicking country band.
I'm all about boot kicking country.
Playing a PV at 100 watts type.
So is he the one he's the one that taught you guitar? Or?
Well, you know, I learned my first lessons were from him.
Okay.
And then I went to like a music school. Went to Paragon Music, Tampa.
Hey,
Paragon
shout out
Music.
Dick Ramore. Yeah.
Old Dickie.
Yeah. and Santino. So you took some lessons and
Took some lessons there, then some other play. Then it got to the point where I was just trying to learn, and then nobody was if you go in and take a guitar lesson, everyone's like, "Oh, what songs you want me to tab out for you?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, I want you to show me how to play the guitar. Like, I want to learn about music. I just don't want to learn these songs, So it took a while to find a right teacher, and then I got to where I could play out like in front of people on stage, like about 14. So I started going out to blues jams, and started working on the craft. Then I met Eddie Wright. And even still, when I get a chance, I still go and jam with a guy named Eddie Wright.
I don't know Eddie Wright.
You should know Eddie Wright.
Tell me about Eddie Wright.
Eddie Wright is Yoda. He's the Yoda of like the blues scene in the greater Tampa Bay area.
Wow.
He's like an undiscovered dude.
Yeah.
Guitar players around the area like Josh Nelms, Damon Fowler. I mean, these dudes all kind of learned from Eddie.
Gotcha.
Matt Walker. Eddie Wright. Eddie Wright's the man.
So what did Eddie teach you?
Well, there were never really actual lessons, but it was from him letting me play with him, and watch, like actually
that's
being
a lesson,
on,
man.
Yeah.
being on stage and watching him handle a song, and like you learn things about intuition while you're performing.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, the drummer should do this, and just learning how a band works. So he's probably my dad and Ed Wright are probably my two biggest teachers.
That's awesome. What about you, Nalani? When did you start?
Well, my dad is also a guitar player and a singer. So my Hawaiian side of the family, they're all musical, and it was always
your Hawaiian side of the family.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a Hawaiian side of your family.
Yeah, my dad's name is Kimo.
Oh, okay.
And his mom is Hawaiian, and so yeah, all that side of the family, family gatherings would be like bring out ukuleles, guitars, everybody singing and playing, dancing the hula. And,
yeah.
So
Sounds
I
like
just
fun to me.
yeah, it is.
Invite me over.
It's great. Lots of food, really good food.
Oh yes.
You tell people, oh, don't worry about bringing anything. We got it covered. No, everybody's going to bring something, and you're going to feel like you want to cry afterwards because you're going to be so full.
right.
So I always grew up around music. When I was 8 is when my parents saw, oh, well, she can sing,
Yeah.
They sent me to voice lessons. So I took voice lessons for a little while when I was 8, and then I did like singing and dancing groups and plays and things like that. And then my dad was in a band, so then I joined his band when I was I don't know, really young, like 12 or something crazy. Wow. So they used to have to sneak me into the bars. I remember we actually got fired from one of the bars one time because they found out I was 14.
No.
They're like, she's not 18. Oh my God. Because I looked older, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
So I was in a band with my dad for 10 years. And then when we met, we kind of decided to part ways. I was like, all right, we've done this for a long time. I love my dad. I'm super thankful for him introducing me to music and just, having that avenue. Not a lot of people have that with their parents or something.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Did either of you
cool.
guys have a definitive moment when you decided that music was going to be it for you, or was it always just it? Always something
I knew the
was
whole
gonna be
time. Since I started playing guitar when I was 6. It's just been my childhood dream. Is just be a good picker, So. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I always had a passion for music and everything, and I always wanted to have something to do with music. But then, when I graduated, I was like, oh, I got to go to college too. I had that, also had the academic aspect. So I went to college, I got my degree, and I have a degree in biology actually. And then I started working when I got done with my degree, and I was like, I hate this. What am I doing? I want to do music. So I do nothing with my degree, and I'm way happier, and I get to do what I love now.
Hey, well, that's
Yeah.
see that I think is the American dream.
Yeah.
is doing what you love instead
Yeah.
of what you have to do.
Yeah,
So-
I'm very
It's
thankful.
a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how often do you guys play out now? Because I know you're playing at Ruby's Elixir.
So often.
See, it's good. We play a lot.
Yeah.
We play, probably like 4 or 5 times a week because we do a duo thing, and then when we do Mama's Batch as
Try to
well.
supplement,
But
mix it in.
we're just trying to get on that train of like, higher paying gigs for less amount of gigs.
Yeah,
where
no,
we're not
for
just
sure.
killing ourselves.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, that's why you guys are so good. It's
Yeah.
like, everybody always says that the Beatles didn't become the Beatles until they went to Hamburg and played, 4 sets a night or whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to play
time
Yeah.
together.
all the time.
For
And
sure.
yeah, you have
Is
to
the
grow
thing.
together as a band.
Yeah.
And as a duo and as players.
That's
together.
true for sure.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So, embrace the nights, the many nights.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
We're definitely enjoying the ride.
Yeah. But again, that's what's so incredible about this EP is I feel like it's it's a hidden gem right now, but hopefully people will discover it because the band is so good that you could put you on any stage anywhere, and I think you'd hold up next to whoever.
Oh, you're a sweetheart, man.
Oh,
You're a
I'm
sweetheart. We're on Spotify. check out. Go. Spotify. Miles Batch. Spotify. Go.
So now that this record's out, and you had the release party at the Murray Theater, right?
Yeah.
At the Ruth
We did.
Eckerd Hall.
Sold out show.
Release party.
That was a nice surprise. It was a nice surprise.
It was.
Were you expecting it to sell out?
It was not, actually. I mean, it was literally, it was our very first album. Not too many people know about us. And
There was no expectations. There was only fear.
yeah, and we were just like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, are we going to be able to do it? Because we rented out this hall, and, we were a little nervous, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, sure.
And then, like, before the show even started, they came in there like, it's sold out. There's no more tickets. And I'm like, holy crap.
Wasn't expecting the amount of the reception, just the love from people. I didn't know that many people liked us. It was nice.
Well, I
It
think
was...
no. I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say it was definitely, like, my favorite.
It was my
best show that I've
Favorite
ever
gig
done.
I've ever
I mean,
done.
Yeah.
That
there was
night
a lot of love
magical
in that
night.
room.
Well, I think that's a testament to how often you guys play out and how much you're a part of the community here. That you had this big show and everybody came out for it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody who came to that one. It was a good one. I got to pee in the same toilet as Ringo Starr. They gave us the nice dressing rooms at Ruth Eckerd Hall, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get some.
I sat in a chair.
Yeah.
Maybe Tony Bennett's been in here. Cool.
You mean you didn't poop in it?
I wanted to. I was too nervous. I can't do it. Home bowl only. Home bowl only.
That's
It's a fair rule.
Can't argue with
Yeah,
that.
Can't argue with that at all.
Home bowl. Isn't there like a Family Guy sketch where Peter Griffin's like, home bowl?
Yes, there is.
Home bowl.
So you're actually playing tonight. This episode will air after this, but you're playing tonight at the Daiquiri Deck with.
Daiquiri Shack.
I'm sorry. You're
Yeah.
playing.
It was the dad.
There,
was
it,
Daiquiri
it
Deck.
will confuse people.
Yeah.
There is a Daiquiri
Okay.
Deck that's like further away.
Right. You're playing at the Daiquiri Shack.
Yeah.
Daiquiri Shack, and I
Daiquiri
believe it's
Shack.
sold out. So
It is also
if
sold
you
out.
tried to come, you couldn't come.
Yes. You're playing.
But you could try to come. Still,
could try to come.
I
I
would be
think-
cool. I would appreciate that.
I think Greg
that'd be-
said he had a handful of extra tickets. I don't know if those are still there. Obviously,
Yeah.
by the time you listen to this, it's a moot point. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you're opening for the Greg Billings band. We're going to be there. It's going to be
love those guys.
yeah, it's going to be a kick-ass show. Like two of my favorite bands in the area, and so different. Like it's like an intergenerational show we got going on here.
Yeah.
Man, if I could just gush on Greg Billings and
Please.
George for a second, man. George was the first dude that I met when I started. I met him when I was like 16.
Yeah.
And started going over recording stuff with him, and then he's like, "Oh man, well, why don't you come out and check out my band, the Greg Billings Band?"
Yeah.
And I saw him for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, rock and roll, yeah,
Real rock and roll.
like real, like the good stuff.
Yeah.
Not like it's not too metally, it's not too
No,
anything. It's just like just
perfect.
feel good, old time rock and roll. Man, I did just say that.
yeah.
Old time rock and roll. But seriously, it's what it is, man, and it really is the good stuff.
Yeah.
And those guys have. I mean, speaking of teachers, I mentioned Ed Wright, George, and Greg Billings. That whole band, seeing how they interact with the crowd, seeing how they actually put on a show, man, it's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
In our career, it's
Absolutely.
they're definitely they're veterans, man.
Yeah.
They really are. They've been put through it, and they're still around, and they're still doing. I mean, people. Greg Billings built an empire.
Yeah. No, and they really do a lot for younger bands and stuff too. Like you said,
They're doing a lot for us.
Yeah,
man.
like I met George when I was like 14 or 15. We were in a band called Black Smoke Theory, and
What a
metal
great band.
A metal. It was not a great band.
It is a great band.
It really was.
Black Smoke Theory.
But we cut an EP with George, and I feel like George has literally been in my life ever since. Every time I've done anything with music, George is one of the people I go to first.
It's kind of one of the dudes
Oh,
when
Georgie,
when you
Georgie.
meet, you instantly know that he's more right than you are.
Don't tell him that though.
Anything.
You don't
George,
have
if you're
to.
listening to this, oh god,
You
don't
don't
have
have
a
to.
big
He
head.
knows. He knows.
You can't like get away with saying like half truths about music around this dude.
Oh, that's
You
definitely
know,
true.
you can't just be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. He'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
He'll stop it right immediately.
Right.
And say it straight.
But that's the other thing is on the other side, like when you meet George, you know that he's genuine. Like
Yeah.
he's doing what he does because he loves it and he wants to help other people do what they love more.
He's not down to earth. He is the earth.
He is the earth.
I get down on George too.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to get George on this podcast like soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
He's always coming out.
No, he's
All right. No, we'd have to go to him, but I want to know just because where does George Harris come from? Where he's been through everything.
All I know
Boy,
is
that boy comes from Iowa. He's coming from Iowa, cornfield out in the middle of Iowa. That's where he's from.
Well, thank God for that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's here hanging with us. So cool. We'll get to see George tonight when you guys play at the Daiquiri Shack with the Greg Billings Band. And you want to tell us a little bit about what's next for Mama's Batch?
Ooh,
Ooh,
Clearwater Jazz Holiday.
Oh, Clearwater Jazz Holiday.
Clearwater Jazz Holiday. We're super excited about it. We play there on Sunday, October 22nd. I believe we play 3:30 to 4:30. There's so many big names that are going to be there for that weekend. It's an awesome festival.
The Temptations.
Yes,
Temptations?
The Temptations.
John Cleary.
Yes, we're the Avett Brothers. Who it's like. I'm just trying to think of the names that I remember from the flyer.
It's going to be a kick-ass festival.
Yeah.
you're telling me.
I just saw the Temptations on there. I was like,
all
all
you
right,
need.
I made
Yeah.
it. I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same bill as Temptations, too.
Oh yeah.
I'm like almost a temp myself. One of the
Yeah,
temps.
So yeah, we're really excited about that. We have like our own trailer and the cooks that are making us food and
Yeah, get that catering.
yeah.
It's quite overwhelming.
And then new music on the horizon?
New music is also on the horizon. We're going to be recording our new album hopefully by the end of this year. So we'll get, it's a process, so it won't be out for a while. But yeah, we're going to start recording. We want to get actually everything recorded, but before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then we'll sit on that, figure out, when we want to release it and everything, because we obviously just released this one.
Yeah. You got
We're trying to revel in that a little bit.
Yeah, it needs time to marinate.
Yeah.
It's got to cook for a little while.
Swim around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mama's batch doesn't just come right out of the oven. You got to let it
Yeah.
sit for a while.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. See how I
There's
took
like
the
a
analogy
cooling
far.
time
like
for
it.
the pie.
Yeah, exactly. The pie's got to cool.
Yes. But we're super really excited to record. The next one's going to be a full album.
Yes.
So
more.
and we're just like, I'm really excited about some of the songs. Like really excited. Some of my favorite ones.
Cool. Am I going to hear any of them tonight?
Not tonight.
You'll hear two of them.
Oh yeah, two.
You'll hear two.
Okay. All right.
The other ones are still cooking.
Other ones are
I'm fine with that.
still-
Leave them in the oven so
still
they're ready.
marinating.
Yeah.
I can be patient. So, well, right on. Any final words for the Cigar City Radio listeners?
Ooh, I have a great joke.
Yes, give
Oh,
it to us.
geez.
Two termites walk into a bar and they say, "Hey, is the bartender here?"
I love like the silence.
That's good.
He still doesn't got it.
I got it.
no,
I don't know whether to feel bad or
Yeah.
not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
it's a groaner.
we can't leave it on that. We can't leave it on that.
Oh,
But we are everybody listening. Please follow us on Spotify, Save Our Music, all the other digital things that we're on, iTunes, Google Play.
Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
hit it all. Follow them on everything.
Yes.
do the call signs.
Yes.
Get digital.
Come be
with
our
Mama's Batch.
friends. Follow us around. Be creepy. Like, stalk our pictures, stalk our music.
Come see your shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy their CDs and put them in stockings.
Yes.
They make great gifts. As promised, here's your fade out, Wasted Time by Mama's Batch from the EP Till the Sunrise, available now on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere else music is sold or streamed.
So sick and tired of us. Can't have no love without no trust. Why do we always have to fight? Can't even make it through the night. I think it's time we face the facts that what we have will never last, never last. I'm so tired of all this wasted time. There's no spark.